Good morning, everybody. My name is Ben Luciotti here at URL Insurance Group, Medicare Specialist. I'm pleased to be joined by Chad Nyes with Ameritas Dental. Really excited for you to join us, Chad. We do get a ton of dental questions here at URL. I think it's, you know, I think personally, I feel like the ancillary, products in general, um, you know, aren't utilized as much as I think they could be because uh, with Medicare Advantage you get the dental embedded with it, whereas like the supplements you don't. So we do get a lot of questions with it. I think Emeritus in general does a really good job, has great plans, very reasonably priced with their competitors. Like I said, really, really glad to have Chad here with us today. If you have any questions during the presentation, make sure you ask them in the chat, and Chad will answer them, throughout at the end as well. So that being said, Chad, I don't want to hold up too much here and let you get rolling. And, at the end, we'll reconvene. So, Chad, the floor is yours.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Ben. I appreciate it. Thanks to you, thanks to URL and everyone attending. Really do appreciate it. And again, I'm Chad with Ameritas, one of the regionals for our individual dental and vision plans. So figure with today, just kind of introduce a little bit of Ameritas to you, who we are, what we do, things that help set us apart. We'll dive kind of deep into the plans, kind of the quote and enrollment process, and some of the tools to help you market. Before we start, that's my contact information on your screen, QR code there, or if you just want to write this one down, again, Chad with Ameritas, my mobile number, it's 317-538-3055. And I stress that's a mobile because if you prefer, text, call, whatever's easiest for you. But just again, please reach out. Anything at all I can do, or any way I can try and support you with dental and vision. So Ameritas, for those of you not familiar, we're based in Lincoln, Nebraska. Ameritas has actually been around since the late 1800s. We're a mutual company. We're A-rated. And while we do multiple product lines, I'm probably a little bit biased, but I think at our heart, we are a dental company. We've been doing it since 1959. We are one of the nation's leading distributors, insurers for dental. Today, we serve more than 6 million customers just in our dental market. And we are one of the nation's largest networks whenever it comes to dental. So plenty of options for your clients to choose, go in or out of network for their services. So let me go ahead, and I hope I can transition this okay. So first off, maybe talk a little bit about why sell dental and vision. Ben, you already mentioned it. It does feel like it comes up a lot. So some of these topics, it feels like we need to discuss them a little bit less now because your clients are asking you for dental and vision. And I think there's two really big reasons for that. One, they have become more mainstream, right? You see more advertising for it. A lot of that probably was Advantage plans. They were included into it. Everyone talked about the importance. You need dental and vision. And now maybe some of those benefits are kind of going the other way, removing some of the benefits, but the conversation's just as important. Now, another big reason I think it's really gotten to the place that it has today, it's just everything improves, right? I think dental and vision services along with that. What I mean, a lot of people will go in for their preventive care. And during those preventive visits, they're finding this early onset of other issues. So that just makes it more important, right? Like, oh my gosh, you know what? You'll never believe it. I went to my eye doctor the other day and I found out this. So people know it. They know they need that preventive treatment. A couple of examples: gum disease is associated with nearly 60 other health-related problems, things like diabetes, heart conditions, even Alzheimer's. And 1 in 5 of us say that their vision provider detected a non-eye related health issue. So again, just helping clients become aware and maybe early detection on something a bit more serious. Now that's the preventive. And we always know that something's going to go wrong. In fact, 90% of people ages 20 to 64 have some form of tooth decay. That's a cavity. So it's great that we've got the preventive treatment. It's even better whenever things start to break down and we need the insurance and the coverage and everything else for it. Now, Advantage, we already mentioned this, but has and has put in a lot of benefits for dental, and maybe some of those have maybe now backed off. But either way, it's still important, and I think still a big thing to talk to all of your clients about standalone dental and vision, because really anyone 18 and up is a potential client for you when it comes to dental and vision products. And even if I have an Advantage plan, and even if it has maybe some dental, there's benefits to that standalone option. A lot of times bigger, better, more robust coverage. Also, we don't coordinate benefit. So while you might have some dental benefit over here, you can have your own standalone plan, and whatever is submitted to Ameritas, we treat it as a primary claim. So again, no coordination of benefits. There's also going to be extra value whenever you choose a network provider. We'll discuss what that looks like. And also just a reminder that we have plenty of network availability for you and your clients. And another really big benefit to standalone, it travels with you. So while some things might change on an existing plan where there are some dental benefits, as long as you continue to pay your premium, your Ameritas coverage goes with you. And a lot of times you'll see those benefits improve the longer that you stay. Now, Ameritas did appear in the news a couple times last year on some really positive things by a couple of independent parties. One of them, CNN Underscored, ranked Ameritas as one of the best dental insurance companies in 2024. So super proud of that one. And then for the second straight year, Forbes Advisor ranked our Prime Star Complete as the best dental insurance for seniors. That was 23 and again in 2024. So reason to share that, just know that when you're offering Ameritas, you are offering some of the best potential coverage for your clients. And a few of the reasons why we have these differentiators. And starting with next day coverage. So at Ameritas, you can enroll a client today for coverage that starts as soon as tomorrow. And that's always really important, right? Because clients, usually want dental insurance whenever they've got a problem. It's like, I've got that toothache. I know I need to go to the dentist. So gosh, I should have had coverage. So enroll a client today. Coverage can start as soon as tomorrow, or we can push it out as much as 90 days. So there's a lot of flexibility there. There's also no waiting periods on preventive, basic, or major services. There are a couple of exceptions to that, mostly by state. One of them, Washington, plans just to look a little bit different, but just know that, again, majority of your states, we have no waiting period, preventive, basic, or your major services. We also offer credit for prior coverage. This has been a really big deal for us. And we now are a couple years into offering this. It's on all of the plans that we're going to discuss. So I want to highlight it here and just let everybody know about it. So credit for prior coverage included on all of your Prime Star plans. We're also rated based on zip code. There's no age, there's no gender. It's really easy to quote. And the price you have for an 18-year-old is the same price as an 88-year-old. So again, no age, no gender, just zip code based. So while I'm on that one, I'll go ahead and mention this. Again, anyone really over 18 is a potential client. We can, of course, include dependents under 18 to a policy, but you have to be 18 to own it. And there is no maximum issue age. And it's all guarantee issue. And you can issue it any time of the year. So really, it's, again, that great opportunity to go back out, revisit clients, or even try and open the doors with new ones. We have some additional benefits on our plans that are unique, things like teeth whitening. We do have orthodontia, as well as hearing care. Now, dental credit for prior coverage. Going to dive a little bit deeper into this, what it is, what it means, before we look specifically at the plans. It's available whenever you're replacing a fully insured group or individual dental plan. There's really two qualifications for it. One, the plan has to have been in place for at least 12 months. And the gap in the coverage must be no more than 60 days from the termination of that plan to the start of ours. So this is a really great option. And I think probably where it fits best, you're talking to maybe retirees, someone that, had worked at an employer for the last 15 years. They had group dental coverage. They're leaving it behind. What do they do now? Well, transition again, maybe do a standalone dental plan. And if that coverage was in place at least 12 months and they enroll within 60 days from whenever they leave the employer's coverage to the start of ours, they get to jump right into the highest level of coinsurance. So a really big benefit for your client. You'll see what that looks like here on the plans. The qualification is pretty simple. You just give us, during the enrollment process, the carrier name, the termination date of that coverage, and to the best of your ability, the policy number. That's it. Nothing else to fax in, send in, anything like that at all. Insurance. There are a couple of disclaimers here, but it's not available in New Mexico, New York, or Washington. So every other state, we're good to go. Speaking of states, we're in all 40. Well, I say all 49 states wouldn't make sense. We're in 49 states. There is only one state where we don't currently do business. That's Massachusetts. So no matter where you're joining in from, no matter where your clients might be, and you want to write them dental and vision, we have options for you. Just credit for prior coverage won't apply in those 3 states. And it does not apply for DHMO, discount, or schedule plans, but any other plan underwritten kind of policy, you can use it to qualify credit for prior coverage. So here's going to be a little bit of look at the plans. There's 3 in our Prime Star lineup. And I already see some questions coming in on other products that are affiliated with Ameritas. I'll jump into those maybe a little bit at the end. Thank you for the question. But I'll kind of tackle those separately here in just a second. But first off, Prime Star is kind of the brand of, I guess, Ameritas. And inside of Prime Star, you're going to find Prime Star Lite, the Prime Star Boost, and the Prime Star Complete. Now, each one was kind of built with a different client in mind, different benefits, different price points. Anyone, again, 18 and over can purchase any of these plans. But Prime Star Lite, as an example, was kind of built with a younger client in mind. Maybe somebody shopping a little bit more on a budget, just looking for some real basic care. So this one, you'll find it usually around $22 to maybe $24, again, depending upon your zip code. But what you get is $750 first year maximum, and then that jumps up to $1,500 in year 2. And whenever I say year 1 and 2, that's policy year. So if I enroll a client, say for March 1st of next year, they're going to move to that $1,500 max benefit. So day 1, I get $750, year 2, $1,500. The deductibles, these are going to look pretty consistent across all the plans that we talk about. It's $0 on your preventive, that's type 1. And then it's $50 for your basic and major services, the type 2 and 3. Now, preventive service, again, those are called type 1. They're 100% covered in network. We are a PPO. You can go in or out of network for service. There's going to be better value when you choose a network provider. And you see it right here in the coinsurance. If you go out of network, we're covering it just at 70%. So reduced coinsurance levels. Something else I'll point out before I move on, and this is a really big deal, and again, it applies to all these Prime Star plans. It's called Preventive Plus. You see it right there underneath Preventive. But Preventive Plus means none of your client's preventive care counts towards those maximum benefits. That's kind of a big deal because in a way it's bumping up that maximum. I go in for my preventive treatment. I see a network provider. It's 100% covered. There is no deductible, and none of it, I can run $200, $300 depending upon your area. None of it is going to count towards that $750 first year maximum. Those amounts, those maximum benefits are reserved for your basic and major services. Speaking of basic, we cover those at 50% first year and then 80% in the second. Major services will cover 10% day one. So 10% for that first full policy year, and then 20% in year two. Now, I will point out here in that bottom right-hand corner, you see what it applies to. It's crowns, there's bridges, there's dentures. We do cover implants. That's always a really popular question. We just don't cover it on this plan. So on the Prime Star Lite, in order to keep a lower price point, we don't include implants. So you got clients that are going to need it. They're thinking about it. It's going to apply, and you're going to want to use one of the other two plans. Now, I will say one other thing before moving on from this one. We built it with maybe that younger client in mind, but we really found this one kind of striking a tone with more of the senior market. And I think a big reason is clients are getting some dental benefit on maybe other plans, but they still want that standalone option, and they want to do it at an affordable price. So it's a great way to add on or create additional coverage for your clients. Again, in that $20 to maybe $25 range. So another area to kind of keep this one in mind. The next plan, it's called our Prime Star Boost. So the Boost covers $1,500 day one, and then this jumps up to $2,000 in the second year. Now, deductibles, those look the same at 0 and then 50 on your types 2 and 3. Preventive service looks similar. It's 100% in network. Does reduce if you go out. It's 80%. And then you can see there the Preventive Plus feature once again included to this. So none of your preventive care counts towards that max benefit. This plan was probably built a little bit more for we call it the family plan, I guess. And the reason you see some of the features in here over on the far right-hand side, preventive care, we've now got sealants, we've got space maintainers for children. So again, if you've got a family, you've got younger children included in the plan, maybe this is the way you lean. But again, anyone can purchase it. Another big reason, all the way down at the bottom, you're going to see ortho. We cover that for anyone under age 19. So this is more of a child orthodontia. But anyone under 19, 15% first year, 50% in the second, with $1,000 lifetime maximum. Jump back up to the basic. So here, we do start out at 65% day one. That's in network. And then it jumps up to 80% in the second year. Major services, we start these at 20. So that means you can come into this plan and as soon as first day, get 20% coverage on any of your major services. And those major services now cover things like the crowns, the bridges, the dentures, and yes, implants, as well as teeth whitening. It's really interesting. Mentioned some 6 million policyholders, and we found kind of in surveying clients that the most requested item that didn't already exist in our plans was teeth whitening. So we felt it applied maybe to this plan, kind of this demographic, and we included it here in your major category. So it is a big deal to a lot of clients, and a nice way to kind of introduce them to the Prime Star Boost. So 20% coverage on your major first year, 50% in the second. And referring back to that credit for prior coverage, now keep this in mind. If I qualify credit for prior coverage, my max benefit stays the same for the first year. So I stay at my $1,500, but I get a jump to the highest levels of coinsurance. So that means right out of the gate, I go 180, 50 on those coinsurance levels. So it's pretty significant, really big deal, and a really big, again, big benefit for your clients. Next up, it's that Prime Star Complete. And already highlighted this one. This is kind of the senior plan, ranked as one of the best plans for seniors. And I think some of the reason, it's just a little bit richer benefit. And typically that's what I think seniors want. And a lot of times they're kind of willing to pay a little bit more for it. But this one, again, still really affordable. You'll find it based on your zip code, usually around 40, maybe to 50, $55. So a lot of benefit though here for what you're paying for. 2,500 in the first year, 3,000 in the second. Same thing on our deductibles, 0 and then 50 for your basic and majors. The preventive covered 100% in network, 90% if you're going out. That preventive plus, once again, included in there. So none of your clients' preventive care is going to count towards those maximum benefits. Now, the basic starts at 80, 90 into the second. And then your major category, once again, it's 20 and 50. So this one here, we're covering the crowns, the bridges, the dentures, and yes, implants. No teeth whitening. You want that, you jump back to the boost plan. But some really aggressive coverage there and comprehensive coverage of the things we're covering inside of your major categories. This one also has hearing benefit. So that's maybe where we figured also maybe applying a little bit more to some of your senior client. And what this is, it's really just a reimbursement. So keep in mind, this is a dental plan with hearing benefit. So you get $75 for an annual exam. And then if your client needs it, they get a hearing aid reimbursement. And that's also without waiting period. If you do it in the first year, you get $200 per ear. If you do it after the first year, it's $300. After the second year, it's $400. So as an example, I purchased my dental plan today, and I've got a hearing appointment next week. I go in, Ameritas will cover up to $75 on the exam, and I need hearing aids, so I can get reimbursed $200 per ear or $400, total of $475 without any kind of a waiting period. I know hearing aids can get really expensive, but again, remember, it's just a hearing aid benefit in your dental insurance. And none of that that amount counts towards your dental maximum. So that's kind of separate, right? The $400, the $600, $800 towards your hearing aids is just a straight reimbursement to your client. Doesn't apply to your dental max. So kind of a nice feature and thing to be able to share there with any of your clients where this could or might apply. All right. I've talked a little bit about the Ameritas Network. So let's talk about what those benefits really look like. Now, Ameritas, we are one of the nation's largest networks. A few different ways you can measure that. One of them is access points. And access points are where you go for dental service. And today we've got more than 673,000 of those. I think a better way to measure this is unique providers. That's the actual number of dentists. And today that number for us is a little over 139,000. And this figure can change, it adjusts, but I think the number is somewhere a little over 200,000 total dentists across the country. So it's pretty good and a large percentage that participates part of that Ameritas network. And we have coverage across the U.S. and also in Mexico. Now, whenever you choose a network provider, again, it's an option for the client, go in or out, but here's that value when they choose in network. A crown is one of our most common major claims, and it can be pretty expensive. In this example, if you can see it there, it's $1,194. So today, I've got a problem with my tooth. I walk into the dentist office, they tell me $194. A little bit of shit I had inside my Ben, this is Ameritas, and enrolls me for coverage that starts as soon as tomorrow. Tomorrow, I go back into that same dentist who happens to be in the Ameritas network, down $637. That's the network participation. That's the discount you get off the regular rate. That's always going to be at least 25%, sometimes as verified provider. But or again, some kind of discount off of what our regular rate. Before we even get the insurance, we look at the insurance and start complete. Remember, it's a major category, a crown. Going to cover 20%. That happens in year 2. If your client coverage and cost of the client is 324. Really ample here. All right, next up, shift gears one more time. Here. Whoop. And at Ameritas, for asking it, we do dental and us. The vision plans are two different partners we have in both VSP and IMED. So VSP is our Prime Star Choice plan. Whoop, somebody's having some audio problems. Sorry, not sure what's going on. I'm going to turn off my camera. I don't know if it's a buffering issue, but maybe that'll help it. Sorry about that, and not sure what's up with it. I'm going to pause there for just a real quick second.
Yeah, it's going in and out a little bit, but I think it's better now that you turned the camera off. But it was on the network, like on the network,
Okay.
it was going in and out a good bit. But I don't want to interrupt. I didn't want to interrupt you. So you may want to touch up on the networks a little bit again, because it was going out a little bit for their chat. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Nope. Sorry about that, everybody. I apologize. Well, everybody's, trust me, better off without a camera on me. So I'll keep that off, and I'll jump back real quick to network, because this, I think, is really important. And I'm sorry if I'm now repeating myself, but we are one of the nation's largest networks. We have close to 140,000 different providers that participate in Ameritas Network. And when you choose a network provider, you're going to get discounts off of regular rates. Those are at minimum 25%, sometimes as much as 50%. And a crown was kind of our example to this, because it is one of the more common claims. So if I go into the dentist today, they tell me I need a crown, and they told me it cost $1,194. That's pretty significant. Tonight, I go home, I enroll in Ameritas coverage. For next day, I go back into that same dentist who happens to be in the Ameritas network. And that crown now only costs me $647. That's that discounted rate. And that's before we even look at the insurance. So now let's look at something like the Prime Star Complete. Remember, it's crown's a major category, so we're going to cover 20% of it. And that means the cost of the client is only $518. Or if this happens in year 2 of the plan, or maybe they had credit for prior coverage, that coinsurance level jumps up to 50%. The cost of the crown is only $324. So that's significant savings, and just what's some of the benefit of seeing a network provider can do. Now, I'm going to move on to the vision. And at Ameritas, we do vision and dental kind of independently. So I can sell just dental, I can sell just vision, or on your quote and enrollment tool, you can bundle them up together for one simple checkout. Now, there are 2 vision plans, and the biggest difference on the vision are the network providers. At I mentioned on the dental side, it is our Ameritas network. On vision, we partner with 2. It's VSP and it's IMED. And a lot of times that's probably going to determine which plan you look to. If your client tells you they go to Walmart for their vision, you probably lean towards the VSP plan, the Prime Star Choice. And some of the benefits, well, I should first say some of the other notable retailers you get there: Costco, Sam's Club, again, Walmart, Vision Works, Pearl Vision, all VSP providers. And it's just a $10 deductible for your exam, which is covered in full. And then the lenses, those are also covered in full, and you get $150 either for frames or contacts on an annual basis. See frequency up here in the top right-hand corner. It's every 12 months for that exam, the lenses or contacts, and your frames. This plan is usually going to run right around $16 per person. The iMed plan, it's called Prime Star Select. Some of the notable iMed retailers: Lens Crafters, Pearl Vision, Target, as well as maybe a little bit more of your kind of mom and pop shop tend to lean towards iMed. But iMed, what you get, it's $25 deductible on the exam. Those lenses, they're still covered in full. A little less as far as the frame. It's $130 allowance for either the frames or the contacts, and a little less on your frequency. That exam, it's still every 12 months, but your lenses, the contacts, and the frames, that's every 24. So maybe another reason you got clients that like to get new glasses every year. Maybe you lean towards the VSP plan for this reason, but you got clients that want to save a little bit more money. Maybe you're looking at iMed. This one's usually around $11 a month per person. All right, next up, one little last kind of change of pace here. I want to talk to you about some of the tools available to you to both quote and enroll clients, and some of the materials that you have to hopefully better get. Now, this screen here, in the very back, you'll see kind of buried there what's a quote and enrollment page. It's a couple of people jogging, but just want to point that out as a reference, because that's going to be your link. If you haven't already appointed, I really, of course, recommend that you do, just so you've got it available for you. So whenever clients do ask you about dental and vision, you got an option. And if you're already appointed, you've already got it, but it is your own quote and enrollment link. We call it the Pearl, your personal URL. But it'll have your name on it in the top right-hand corner, and anything done from it is going to be credited back to you as the agent. So I think that's really good for a couple of reasons. One, it's really easy to use, but two, it's a link. So you can send it to clients. You can post it on a website if you got it. You can embed your link in your email address, whatever, but just share it with clients, and they can actually even quote and enroll themselves for coverage, and it's done through your link. And everything starts with the zip code. So all you got to do is drop in a zip code, and it's going to pull the specific price and the plans available in that area. I mentioned, some of our plans might vary by state. The link is really the best and easiest way to kind of navigate all that. Like, gosh, what was the difference in, or was there a difference in the plan in Washington? I can't remember. Just drop in the zip code. Again, it'll pull up the specific price and plan details for that area. So it does really kind of keep it simple. And next up, it'll just ask you if you want dental. It'll ask you next if you want vision. So there's the option to kind of bundle the two together. And then you've got the checkout process. It's going to pull up the 3 different plans for you that you get to choose from, the plans we just reviewed. It'll have a network button there as well that lets you choose or find maybe a network provider that someone participating in Ameritas Network. After that, you land on this page, and it's the one you're looking at right now. And it starts with your coverage effective date. Remember, you can elect as soon as next day. You can go as much as 90 days out. But put in the coverage start date, and then next up, the email address. Now, we do ask for an email if your client doesn't want to provide it, doesn't want to give it to you. You can drop in your own. We really do prefer the client provide email, because at the end of the enrollment, we will drop their temporary ID cards to them in email. We still mail those out as well, get to the client usually around 7 to 10 days, but they'll get them immediately during that checkout process. So further down, you see 6 steps. And those are the 6 steps of the application. Everything we do is from this link. We don't have a paper app. So it's all done from your phone, your tablet, your computer, but all electronically. Enter in the applicant information. And this is really basic. It's just name, address, date of birth. We don't ask, we don't require, we will never need a social security number. So a few benefits to that one. We'll ask for the same information from dependents, if any. Next up, that's step 3, is the credit for prior coverage. So if your client's qualifying for it, had prior coverage, they want to bump up to those higher levels of coinsurance, right there's where you enter it. Step 3, just give us the prior carrier name, the termination date, and the policy number to the best of your ability. Boom. You automatically move to the higher coinsurance. You review those details with the client. You drop in the payment information there in step 5. Be credit card, it can be checking, savings, whatever. A lot of flexibility, a lot of options there. Just note that the first draft takes place on the coverage effective date you've elected with the client. So if I choose March 1st, coverage starts then, we draft your client then. And then the final page is the agreements. So on the agreement, this is really just where you kind of roll through everything with the client. Again, another review, and then hit accept. There's no formal signature, email signature that needs to go back and forth, anything like that. You hit submit. You and your client both get an email notification that the sale's complete. They're good to go. That's it. It really is simple. It maybe takes 5 or 6 minutes to kind of run through this entire process. And again, you can even share this with your clients, let them enroll themselves for coverage. Sometimes that's a big benefit because, you get busy and a client's interested. You can just simply say like, hey, I know you're looking at, dental and vision options. Here's a link with a few for you, forward that out to them. And this really does happen. We hear it all the time, but you'll be sitting at home on a Sunday afternoon watching a game and you get an email notification that a client just enrolled for coverage. So it's a great way, again, to kind of let that link and that site kind of work for you. So other materials are going to be available at our agent marketing site. And there's a link for it right there. It's explore.ameritas.com/agent marketing. You can link to it, but I do recommend it. A couple reasons. One, there's a couple tabs up. One of them, agent resources. This is where you can jump in, grab more information, kind of the detail, the guts on the products and stuff like that, maybe more training and stuff if you need it, want it. There's another tab called Share with Clients. And in the Share with Client button, you're going to get all the material that you can print, you can send, even personalize for clients. And you'll have any of the state variations that come up there as well. So grab your specific state, whatever. But all that's there available for you. And even better, on the bottom of that page are some different like social media marketing tools. I think this one's really valuable. There's some like different ads that you can kind of take, copy, use as your own. They're compliance approved. But Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, anything like that, just drop it out there. And it's really basic stuff. It's like, hey, are you thinking about dental and vision? Or, hey, have you been to the dentist? But it's all just reminders to your client that you're offering dental and vision. And by letting your clients know that you offer it, they will reach out to you about it. So again, a great way to reintroduce yourself with existing clients, or maybe even, again, open doors to new ones. But all available on that agent marketing site, as well as a link to a producer portal where you can log in, you can access, your existing business clients, commission information, and all of that as well. So next step, again, if you haven't already, is to just reach out to URL, get appointed, and within a few days, we'll have your shopping link. If you're already appointed, you already got it. If you've appointed and you don't know what it is, just reach out, help and get that over to you. But You do want to capture it. You do want to save it, mark it as a favorite. But again, make sure you're using it. Anytime you go to it, check for your name in the top right-hand corner, because again, that's how we're crediting you for the sales. But I think the other really good thing, I guess I kind of mentioned it already, but about a link, there's a lot of different things you can do with it. You can add a hyperlink to your emails, to website buttons, those social media things that I mentioned. You can put your link on it. Like, oh, are you interested in dental? Well, here's where you can quote and enroll for coverage. And a link can really easily be turned into a QR code. And QR codes feel really popular once again. And with a QR code, now you've got the ability to even maybe do a little bit more marketing. Add a QR code to different printed materials. And this one was an example that we've been using for a bit. Because if you remember, Ameritas was rated best dental insurance for seniors in 23 and 24. But we used that ad and created a QR code on my link just for an example. It was a free version. It's probably why it's got the dinosaur there in the middle of it. But that's just a QR code that took a couple minutes to create. If you take a snapshot of it, you land on my quote and enrollment link. There's my contact information underneath it. So this makes for a really quick and easy postcard, maybe stick in some mailboxes, a little mail stuffer for your clients, even a great little option to leave behind at dental offices. Because believe it or not, a lot of dental officers are really receptive to having you market inside of their office. And probably more commonly whenever it's an in-network provider. But we've had people share that with us in the past that they've been in a dental office and actually had clients enrolling for coverage, because again, providers realize the importance of the insurance. They enjoy working with Ameritas, and they know it's a benefit to their clients as well. So just an idea to consider, and again, another way to kind of market and make your link work for you. So with that, there's a couple of other things that you can link to here. One of them is just an About Ameritas handbook. The other is more specific on the plans. It's our plan handbook that dives a little bit deeper into all the stuff that we just kind of now talked about. But just as important, everything there on the left-hand side. If you want to capture my contact information, just reach out to me with anything at all you need, anything at all I might be able to help out with at Ameritas. I know some questions came in. I don't think I got to all of them, so I'm going to go back through and revisit those. But Ben, anything jump out to you? Anything I can answer, or anything I missed?
No, really just want to say really appreciate you coming on and doing this. Appreciate your partnership as well. I think obviously dental's important. We get a lot of questions about it, like I said. Sometimes gets overlooked though, because you think it's expensive, but and is it really worth it? But looking at your plans, I think it's worth it. I mean, I know in our area it's like $35 for the the complete plan. So with great benefits too. So I see the questions that came in. If you want to go ahead and respond to those, there's some good ones in there. But other than that, no, just really appreciate you taking the time, and everyone else that joined today. Thanks for coming in. If you have any questions about Ameritas or want to get contracted, feel free to reach out to me. I'll have a list of everybody that joined so I can reach out to you guys directly too. But yeah, floor is yours, Chad, if you want to respond to the questions.
Sounds good. Yeah, thank you. And I'll start with that one. It is a popular one, Ben. A lot of people will say, well, is dental insurance really worth it?
Yeah.
It is, right? I mean, you can see it. If you're just doing preventive care, depending upon the plan, of course, you choose. You can always upgrade, downgrade plans with us, and you can cancel at any time. Clients don't think it's valuable, well, then cancel. We don't want them to, of course, and we think that once they purchase the plan, they do see the value of it. Right. The preventive care kind of takes care of itself. They should be doing it. They need it. And then again, as we said, ultimately things will go wrong, and that's where clients really do see the biggest bang for the buck. So This question here, the difference in other plans. So there are other plans out there that you may see the Ameritas name on. It's a good question. And some of those are maybe just like a private label design where maybe Ameritas is the underwriter of the plan or they're using the Ameritas network. So if you see those, yes, they have probably association with Ameritas, but every
Oh no, Chad. Chad left us.
consider the best of our best. And let's see, I think we did talk about the bundling of dental and vision. You can do either or. You can sell just the dental, you can sell just the vision, and that's in any and all the states exception to Massachusetts. Let's see here. The another question on the Prime Star Lite and move to the Booster Complete. Oh yeah, really good question. Thank you. So yeah, you can come in today at like a Prime Star Lite. That's again the lower plan, right? And you can of course move up to another plan as you need it. If you're upgrading a plan, we do ask that you wait until the policy anniversary. You can downgrade a plan at any time. Like, gosh, I was on this Complete and really don't need this much benefit. You can do that anytime. But if I start on the Lite plan and I want to jump up to the Complete, you need to wait until at least your policy anniversary for a few reasons. I guess what best case scenario would be like, well, you come in on the Lite plan, you pay 1 month worth of premium, and then you're going to jump up to the Complete because you need a whole lot of work. You can do all that. You just need to wait until after the first year. So what happens? Okay, Jen, I'll have to check on this. If you bundle, yeah, I'm not aware of that. Jennifer, thank you for the question, but asked about if you bundle dental and vision, it's indemnity. We do have a couple of counties in Pennsylvania that one county that operates as indemnity, but I am not familiar with that. So I apologize, but I'm going to get it checked out. I'm going to take that. Yep, there you go. Thank you. I was going to ask for that. So, all right. Yeah, I'll be back to you on that one. I'll find out. Ben, I'll be sure to include you to it as well in case it comes up. So,
sounds good.
All right. Well, yeah, I guess one little last wrap up, but I do get this question a lot too. People get concerned about offering dental because you just don't feel confident about, like, well, I don't know anything about teeth or vision. The good thing I think about Ameritas, you don't need to. You know, Ameritas, we are the dental experts. So just know some basics of the plan. Know that we're here to support you when it comes up, and we will, again, of course, take good care of your clients as you enroll them with us. Some of the best plan available, affordable pricing, different plan options, one of the nation's largest networks. And again, just appreciate the opportunity to do it. And thanks again, everybody, for being here.
Yeah, thanks, Chad. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Again, thanks for joining. And with that, we'll close it. So thanks again. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks, Chad.
Thank you.